We need more than politics as usual when it comes to immigration. We need reasoned, thoughtful, compassionate debate that focuses on our hopes, not our fears.
More from President Obama's primetime address on immigration reform. His plan would shield about 5 million illegal immigrants from deportation. The president defended the legality of his actions, but Republicans are already firing back. Texas Senator Ted Cruz posted a statement on his Facebook page shortly after the president finished speaking tonight. That statement: "Today is a sad day in our nation's history. Tonight, the president went on national television and announced that he is defying the Constitution. He is defying federal law, and he is defying the American people." Political science professor from SMU, Matthew Wilson, is in tonight to talk about the political fallout of all of this. So, following up on Ted Cruz's post, is the president defying Americans, defying federal law?
Well, he's certainly defying the opinion of the majority of the American people, in the sense that polls have shown that most people did not want the president to go it alone on this. They would have preferred that he try to work with Congress. But the president felt like that was not an avenue that was open to him. So he went in this direction. Whether he's actually defying the Constitution or not is a matter of more controversial interpretation. The president says he's got some executive authority to decide whether or not to prosecute people for violating the law, and he's just using that discretion. Others say, like Ted Cruz, that it's the president's job under the Constitution to enforce the law as written by Congress, and that with this action, he's declining to do that.
Well, it's really interesting because House Speaker John Boehner posted like 22 statements from the president, saying, no, I can't do this. And now tonight, the president's saying, well, yes, I can.
That's right. And that leaves a lot of people in an awkward situation.
Right.
For one, it leaves some immigration reform advocates in the position of saying, well, if you really could do this, why didn't you do this years ago?
Right.
Why wait until now? Whereas opponents are saying, if you thought you couldn't do this and said you couldn't do this 2 years ago, what has changed? And they would say nothing.
So is he going to regret this? That's what Mitch McConnell's saying, that, listen, you are going to regret this, which I don't know, if somebody tells me I'm going to regret something, it sounds a little threatening. I mean, I don't know how he meant it, but he says you're going to regret it.
Yeah, it sounds a little ominous.
Yeah.
We'll see how this plays out with regard to Republican opposition. It's not clear exactly what tools Republicans in Congress have to really tangibly make him regret this. It's hard for them to intervene to stop this in a direct way. They're thinking about maybe some budgetary actions, withholding funding for some things. Certainly they could try to slow down confirmation of President Obama's nominations to executive branch agencies, to the courts. There are ways that they can do tit-for-tat retaliation, but probably most voters hear that and say, oh, that's exactly what we didn't want, which is more struggle.
I mean, that's just the back and forth that then kind of drags everything out, and ultimately nothing gets done.
That's right. That's the fear here. And Speaker Boehner has said that this kind of action by the president would poison the well for any cooperation over these last 2 years.
Sure.
And apparently the president didn't fear that.
All right, so what happens tomorrow? I mean, I guess we can expect this sort of victory dance in Vegas for the president, but what happens, I mean, I guess with something with some meat behind it?
Well, he'll have to start actually tangibly implementing this, and we'll have to see the executive branch agencies develop a protocol for identifying these people who will be eligible for this action, see if they in fact do come forward to register, to take advantage of these provisions. That'll have to start being implemented. And then Republicans, and I'm sure they'll do this starting tomorrow, will try to figure out what, if anything, they can realistically do to combat this. I think their options are limited, but they're not zero. So we'll see how that plays out tomorrow as well.
We'll keep watching. Matthew, thank you, as
always,
always,
for
coming
me.
in.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.